my dear Pisces. This is your love and spirituality reading for the mid-month of September 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. This will be the last mid-month reading I do for now. If you ever have felt the need to be at several locations at the same time, you know my problem. Next month I will have to take the mid-month week to catch up with my bookkeeping that is like a half year behind, and in November I will have the first week off since last fall together with my son, and I really need it since I have noticed that I get the sniffles when I go and do my reading. Histamine release is a sign of stress. So I'm also booking 2 months ahead for my clients, and that is too long of a wait. So in December I will be able to book 1 more week with client readings. I hope that you will understand my situation and be satisfied with the monthly readings. I might do some other type of shorter reading to replace the mid-months in the future. I will see what I can be inspired to do. So I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, and you did a really good job this month, Pisces. So you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. There's a list there, and thank you all for liking, watching, commenting and subscribing to my channel. I am super grateful for all of your appreciation. This reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. So for this reading, I used the Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma, and I will do a 5-card spread for you, and I will start shuffling your cards. So my dear Pisces, when I open your deck here, I see completion. That's the World card in reversed, and also ordinariness. Let's see if I need to focus the camera a little bit. So what I can see here is that it's some kind of work that hasn't been really finished. It's something where there need to be a little bit more effort put down into this situation before you can have like a closure or a completion of this situation. It might be that there's someone not cooperating fully also, and that was causing the delay. So I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the miser together with ordinariness. So this is 2 very opposite energies, even if it's both earth, and 4 is half of 8. But 4 of pentacles, then we are in this development stage when it's mine. I can do this myself. It's like a 3 or a 4 year old where we don't touch my stuff and we argue about toys and things like this. When we're a little bit older, say 8 years old, we can help mommy and daddy with the dishes, and we might be able to take ourselves to school, and people can trust that we are going to do what has been arranged, or what has been like cooperation between 2 people, that what has been decided will be actually happening. So it might be 2 different people having 2 different development stages. One is more like mine, and the other person is more set on cooperating. And it can also be 2 different sides inside of you that you oscillate between, wanting to like protect your own energy, and other days you want to share and make yourself available to helping others and contributing to getting projects and other things being launched or perfected. So it's kind of interesting with these 2 different energies. You can see also on this person is very relaxed and just go about their business and doesn't worry so much about the past or the future. They're just doing the thing they can do today, so focusing on the now. This other person is focusing on maybe the past, where things have been stolen from them, and the future, how they can protect their jewels here, so they won't lose it. So this person doesn't live here and now, and is therefore also very tense and not relaxed at all, and probably not particularly happy. So I called the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we have moment to moment together with the miser here. So I'm thinking we are talking about a gradual change, that because the moment to moment card is about change and taking one step in front of the other and eventually being able to make some kind of progress and some kind of change. And again, these cards are very not similar to each other. This is a fluid card and this is a very stagnant card. It can also be that you need to learn to have better boundaries, or looking at situations in your life where you either have too higher boundaries or too lower boundaries. And moment to moment is saying that this is a situation that will evolve over time with trials and error, and it can be like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, and it can go like this. So you kind of need patience in this situation, specifically if you are dealing with someone that's very scared of opening up. Maybe they have secrets, maybe they have problems with showing vulnerability. It might be that this person is not particularly trustworthy, because with these 2 cards together, it can suggest like a person being like a player a little bit and not telling you about what's really going on. But the main feeling I have with this is you having patience with a person that needs to develop for the show to go on, so to speak. Okay. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether. To the 6, the dream, and 5 of cups. So 5 of cups, 6 of cups wants to show their face here. So it might be like a little bit of a history in this situation where people have been very disappointed on what has happened, but they still are very nostalgic about the situation, or still love the other person. So it's usually like that we can be very disappointed with people, our family, partners, friends, co-workers, and we can still want to be friends with them. So this is what's kind of the driving in this situation for at least one of these people. Maybe you feel like you love them and you want everything to be in harmony, but maybe this other person doesn't really cooperate. So where were I? Yes. To join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Pisces viewers. So I want my dear Pisces to have love in their lives and to find themselves. Here we have 5 comparison. So there's people that's being born with a sense, or at least being conditioned into a sense of not being good enough. And they think that life is a race, and that the person with most stuff and, you know, most badges for won arguments, like arguments being won, will be the one that wins. But this is of course not true. The one that's able to find inner peace and connect with other people in love is probably the person that wins. But in this viewpoint, we want to win, we want to be better than, we want to have more stuff than, we want to have a more beautiful wife than, or a more rich husband than. So it's like a competition, everything. And the 5 comparison, 5 of swords card is kind of advising people to start to become more accepting of what you have as your gift, and not trying to become to have gifts in areas that's not yours. So for example, if you are you're a very nice person, good on taking care of your family, you like being out in the woods, maybe picking mushrooms and berries and things like this, you take with you the younger kids of the family, that's one thing that we can be good at, but it's very difficult then to compare ourselves to another female, maybe, or a male that's is being a marathon runner, and that is their main focus of energy, and they are winning those runs or those competitions. So you can see it's 2 very, very different areas we can excel at. and one isn't better than the other. So this person that's going around with the children in the forest and giving them experiences of what you can eat and what you can't eat, and getting like really good relationships with grown-ups, it's nothing that says that this is a lesser job than being like a very fast runner. So it's not possible to compare ourselves and be like, oh, I should have been a marathon runner instead. No, you are supposed to develop your personal skills. You were not supposed to be like the greatest of the great in everything. It's not healthy. Sometimes we can have people that's very focused on winning. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. They can teach us one thing or two about accomplishing goals, for example. So it's not a bad thing. It's just that if you try to be good at every single thing and try to be perfect, probably there's a lot of neurosis inside of this, why you need to be the best on everything, and also a lot of anxiety, because what happens if you aren't the best? Can't you handle those feelings? So mostly when people are doing these kind of things, starting to compete with each other or try to win over one another, it's usually some feelings we want to avoid. The feeling of loss, for example. So we might need to start to, deal with these deeper feelings instead of being so protective and trying to live a perfect life so we won't ever have any disappointment. Okay. So I want my dear Pisces to have love in their lives and also find themselves in loving relationships. Every time I say this, there's a problem. So we have 4 postponement here. 4 postponement. Okay, so it's probably like this. You have had a fallout with someone important. Doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It can be friends, family, things like this. And it seems like there will be like a truth between you two. Maybe you don't have to, maybe you are not on talking terms. And the 4 postponement, it might be that you can't sort this battle out right now, and the person might not be ready for it. So it's like wait for it with the 2 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles that we saw, and also the 8 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles. Maybe you're a little bit ahead on other people when it comes to cooperating, or maybe you are set on some goal, but it's very hard to get other people on board, and maybe there's some kind of development that needs to happen before this what you want can come true. So with the 4 postponement, usually I feel like you shouldn't postpone, don't procrastinate, live your life fully. But here I feel more like maybe you need to wait for natural, like nature to have its course. If it's winter right now, you need to wait for spring before you can put the seeds to the ground. So that's probably what's going on in some important relationships for you, for you. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So the Fool is sticking up their head there together with the Dream. So maybe we are waiting for someone to be brave enough to acknowledge how much love is worth. Okay, that it's more worth than keeping dignified and looking cool. And maybe this is what you are holding your breath for, that someone else is going to be courageous enough to admit this first to themselves and then to others, maybe you. Or this can be you that needs to see that it's more valuable to win in love, and the one that wins in love is usually the one that yields instead of like winning the world, because that might be very empty. Okay, so my dear Pisces, mid-month of September, I will just tune in for a few seconds to you and this reading. Okay, so my dear Pisces, this will be your reading, and this is the bottom of your deck, and it's the 8 of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles is a beautiful card about living your life here and now. So come to mind this saying, before you are enlightened, carry wood and no, yes, okay, carry water and chop wood. And after you are enlightened, it's also the same, carry water and chop wood. It's about living your life day to day and being able also to stay with things that's boring, that's not extraordinary, but actually your day-to-day life. So making yourself more alive in the ordinary situation. So it means being available and attentive and aware when you, for example, walking down a street. Feeling the road underneath your feet, feeling the smells, taking note of everything around you. We can be kind of a little bit dull, and we just go from A to B and we don't recognize what we saw on the road, or if we met someone, we were just suddenly we found ourselves at work. So that is when we have been not aware. Sometimes this can be not maybe when we drive our car, but in other situations this can be a little bit of a good thing. It's like being a little bit of a dreamer. But to become aware, we need to live here and now, and at these moments, more and more live here and now in every moment, instead of dreaming of something that would be better than this what you already have. So this is a strength. You can see this connected to the 8 strength card. So it's a strength to be able to live your life like this. Finding happiness in the small moments, being grateful. Maybe when you chop wood, you can be grateful for the smell of wood in your nose. It can be a very nice smell, and also maybe the sun in your face, and the accomplishment with putting logs of wood in well organized pile, for example. This can be very satisfying, and sometimes this is what life is all about, to live here and now and be attentive of what we are doing from one moment to the next. It can change your whole outlook on life, and you can become more grateful and less dissatisfied. And here we have the Creator in reversed. So again, it's kind of talking about you not being able to maybe reach your ultimate goal. Maybe you need to wait for it. Okay, it might also be that you are involved with a fire sign of some sort. But maybe it's not the exact time to accomplish or fulfill some goal. It's like the time between breath in and breath out, and the time in between, like the space in between. That's where you are at right now. And this is your now, and this is your past, and this is your future, and this is the past of outside circumstances. Can be a person, a mission, your mission together with the divine, your work, whatever, some outside circumstance. And this is the future of that said circumstance or person. So this is you right now, and we have also playfulness in the reversed. So it seems like you have been maybe in a phase of outgoing, and like you had a goal. This playfulness is your soul's energy. It wants to manifest in some way. You can feel this as a creative itch, and you get a lot of ideas of what you want to do with this energy. But currently it's in the reverse, so it might be that you have the itch but no possibility of accomplishing this what you want just right now. I'm thinking it's a question of timing for what the other cards we saw. It's maybe you want to be social, maybe you want to date, maybe you want to find your life goal, things like this. You want to have some kind of accomplishment, but it's not possible at this moment, and it's like spring waits and builds up pressure because it wants to explode out in spring, like trees and grass and everything, but here it's being held back maybe by winter. So that's you right now, and this is your past, and we have the Six of Swords in the reversed. So Six of Swords, usually it's the moment we can see it depicted here the moment before, but usually it's the moment when you realize what's true for you. This person hasn't realized this just yet, so they are still being occupied with all the shoulds and shouldn'ts. I need to do this, I need to do that. They haven't really yet being able to listen to their own instincts and their own intuition and the science of their own heart just yet. So they're still preoccupied with being stuck, like being a slave to all different responsibilities. It might, for example, be that you feel one thing, but you think it should be in another way. So the feeling and the thinking is on collision, and therefore you are not able to kind of accept the reality as it is. The Six of Swords in reverse can be many things. One thing might be that you have tried to logically solve something in a way that was seemingly convenient for you. For example, I don't love that person anymore. I will reject them. I will turn my back against them, and I will walk away into my new life. But then comes the divine with all these blockages and say, well, you are not able to move on into your new life because you haven't acknowledged the truth here. So the truth might be that, well, I can't move into this new life because I still love the old person. It doesn't have to be love exactly. It can be so many different things and so many different truths. But at least start to admit those truths for yourself, and that will make a foundation for better decisions from you for the future. Okay. So this is that said future, and we have more cards in the reverse here. Is the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So Seven of Wands in reverse is like you have some kind of stress here. You want things to be in a certain way, or you want to be able to behave in a certain way, but you can't seem to live up to these expectations. And it's probably that your expectations is kind of not aligned with your soul's purpose or the divine's expectations. For example, you might have expectations that you are going to be rich and famous, but your soul's expectation has nothing to do with this. Maybe it's more about the little things in life, and you might feel like a failure because you haven't been able to fulfill these great goals. But the most important thing is the small things. For example, being able to realize the truth like this and, you know, accept it. That can be a real win, and a win that will be, that is something that you haven't been able to accomplish for many different lifetimes. That every lifetime you have been running away from yourself, and you have tried to live up to maybe other people's expectations or people's view on what is success, and your own view on what is success. But really the answer for all this was probably before your nose the whole time. And I'm thinking it's about self-love and self-acceptance. With the Seven stress here, it can sometimes be that you have a lot of different things that you're thinking or feeling, but you don't take notice of them. You just try to handle the whole situation, and in a rational way that's premeditated. You have already decided what you want for a sort of an outcome with this. So for example, we say that you are going on a party, and on this party, you suddenly start to feel very left out in the cold. You feel like other people are not talking to you. They are not nice to you. And that's your instincts coming, like different instincts. Might be old fears or traumas as well. But what you're trying to do with the Seven of Wands in reverse, you're trying to kill off those instincts. No, it's nice. I'm not left out in the cold. It's just that these two have so much to talk about, and it's probably that I myself are not reaching out enough. I'm not saying that you are supposed to do yourself into a victim. I'm saying that acknowledge what is coming instead of being so fearful of your own instincts. So for example, if you feel on the outside, notice this, take note of it. With the Six of Swords, acknowledge, even if the truth might hurt and you might feel like, okay, so if no one acknowledged me, it must mean that I'm not a pleasant person, or nobody likes me, or there can be a lot of different consequences to you accepting what you see in front of you. It doesn't seem like they give me attention, so that must mean a lot of other things. But if you can just accept this, what you're seeing, okay, it doesn't seem like they give me attention, you can start to eventually also maybe change this or investigate this situation further. You can go forward to a person that you like and start a conversation. And if they immediately, you know, back away and have something more interesting to do, it seems like you have something like an investigation on your hands. You need to figure out what it is that makes you repel people at this moment. Normally with these 3 cards here, you would see this problem, but you would ignore it because the truth of what it appears to say to you is not nice, so you don't want to hear it, so therefore you don't listen to your instinct. It doesn't have to be exact this situation. It can be so many variation of this theme. There's so many different things that we feel but that we don't acknowledge. So the key here is to start to acknowledge what you truly feel and go with it wherever it wants to take you. So even down the rabbit hole, okay, deep down the rabbit hole, because this is going to free you from all patterns of expectations. Before you had a fear that kind of being created in your reality, but as long as you just, oh, this is nice, I don't care, that's not a problem, you didn't address what it is that you actually have kind of created in your life, or the pattern in your life. It doesn't have to be something you have created. It might be really old pattern from many past lifetimes, for example, or from your childhood. But it's just repeating in your life until you are able to see it and then start to investigate, why is this and where does it come from? So it might be as simple as this, that if you think that you are uninteresting, other people will feel that you are uninteresting too. So what it will circle back to is probably that you need to start to think different about yourself. So this, it seems like you also might have a little bit weak boundaries towards others. It's easy for you to try to be very convenient and, you know, comfortable, like you are, and you don't want other people to feel awkward or something like that. So it's like you're selling yourself off a little bit. So this is the past of this circumstance or other person, and we have a Page of Swords here. So Page of Swords might be someone that's pointing out your flaws, or, you know, holding up a mirror to you so you can see how bad you are. And this is not because this person is evil or there's something wrong with you. They're just trying to show you a pattern that's appearing inside of you. So when people seems to be mindlessly cruel in your life, it's usually because they're holding up this mirror. So the thing you see is your own mirror. What you believe about people is what they are going to show you. If you believe them to not be trustworthy, you are going to see a lot of not trustworthy people here. If you believe that they don't love you, you will see a lot of cold, detached people that doesn't love you. If you believe that you are not good enough, you will hear a lot of voices from people thinking you are not good enough. So what you see here is kind of a mirror, and it's almost like with children. They can pick up things that the grown-up has as a pattern, and they will tell it like up front, out straightforward to any person, and it might be very socially awkward, but they are just saying what is there, but everyone refuses to see. So sometimes you hear the truth from children and, you know, lunatics or addicts that's on the brink of delusion. They will tell you the truth because they don't have these social conventions that a grown-up person does. So it might be that you will hear or see some maybe a little bit uncomfortable truth, but it's just pointing to one truth. It's not saying the absolute truth. It might point to a truth that, okay, people seems to shy away from me. So that's an observation, and it doesn't have to be the absolute truth that people are actually shying away from you. It might be that you have a pattern of not feeling worthy, and universe says, yes, okay, your will is my command, you're not worthy, people won't talk with you. And so you need to go to the bottom with this truth, instead of, brushing it in underneath the carpet and pretend that it's not there. Okay, so this is the future. We have two pages here, Page of Swords, Page of Fire. It's both masculine pages, and it seems like in a competition you have kind of yielded yourself towards another entity or group, because you don't want conflict. So even if they are rude towards you and say rude truths to your face, it's like you don't even hear them because you're trying to be in your positive bubble and not acknowledging problems. So it's a little bit of combat between masculine energies, but it's on a childhood level. So it's kind of what we saw in the beginning with the child that was 4 years old and 8 years old. But maybe the 4-year-old tells the truth, even if it's very inconvenient. And the 8-year-old have already learned to subordinate themselves a little bit and therefore are not reacting naturally towards this situation. Your natural reaction would maybe have been, why are you going away? Do I have like a bad smell today, or what's going on? Maybe if you were younger and didn't have the social convenience, if someone was walking away from you suddenly on a party. But since you are very socially convenient here, or you have submit yourself to being socially pleasant, you don't tell this kind of thing, and it kind of you let it. It's like you're stealing your own energy by this. And it's 2 pages, so that can almost sometimes also point to twin flame relationships, which are usually very difficult relationships. That's there exactly for these kind of things, for you to be able to see a clear mirror of what you are doing, like negative patterns in your life that's not healthy for you and not making you happy, and being able to pinpoint them and do something about it. They are usually not particularly romantic, but very efficient when it comes to self-realization and awakening. So this is the future of this said thing, and it's Thunderbolt. So that's the Tower. And the Tower is probably when you start to say things exactly as they are. It's like this story with the emperor that with the new clothes, that someone came to town and had this tale of they tell everybody that they had this fabric that was so unique that only very sophisticated people could see it. And the king kind of believed in them, or the emperor believed in them, and had them made clothes for him in this fabric. And the same tale was told to all the people, that if you can't see the clothes, there's something wrong with you. So nobody told the emperor that he was actually not with any fabric on him at all. He was naked, until a little boy told this, like, well, the emperor is naked. And then everyone realized, yes, he is naked. So this is the kind of situation I'm seeing here. And I'm thinking it might be someone else that's the little boy telling you that the emperor is naked, or it's you being able to see those things and pinpoint what's really going on underneath the surface, underneath the exterior that seems, everyone is acting polite, but they're acting polite and in the same time maybe being very rude or abusive towards people. For example, bullying and other things like this, it can continue because of these social conventions, because the one that's being bullied are supposed to shut up and not, since they are shamed into submission, they are not supposed to do revolution and fight back. But here I'm seeing kind of this is happening, that someone is doing revolution and finally fighting back. And it's this very fiery energy here, and it's the flashes. So it's about, we can see here, Yod, it's a spiritual energy, and we can see it in here, and these candles kind of, and then you have flashes here. So I'm thinking the divine is at part in this play, trying to get you out from this dull energy where you're letting other people kind of ride your back just because you try to be nice. Okay, so today I will actually read a Thunderbolt card for you because I think it's more helpful. So, the card shows a tower being burned, destroyed, blown apart. A man and a woman are leaping from it, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. And this is kind of the twin flame relationships, but it's going on in so many... The twin flame relationships is just like pioneers. They are doing it first, and a lot of people are following, doing the same thing, realizing who they really are and their old patterns and breaking free from them. They have no choice, so they are put here together by the divine so that they can mirror themselves in one another. In the background is a meditating Buddha figure representing the witnessing consciousness, kind of your soul, the I in I am. I think, I feel. So the thinking and the feeling and all the other things is what you are aware of, but the awareness, your soul, is the I. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. They are just tools for you to be aware of the world around you. You might be feeling pretty shaken right now, as if the earth is rocking beneath your feet. Your sense of security is being challenged, and the natural tendency is to try to hold on to whatever you can. But this inner earthquake is both necessary and tremendously important. If you allow it, you will emerge from the wreckage stronger and more available for new experiences. After the fire, the earth is replenished. After the storm, the air is clear. Try to watch the destruction with detachment, almost as if it were happening to somebody else. Say yes to the process by meeting it halfway. Like, I accept that this situation is like this. I accept that this person isn't happy with me. I accept that they are not talking to me. What I'm feeling here is that if there's a bully in this situation, this is how they might feel when you are not following social convenience anymore, but actually telling them exactly what you see. So, I see you are trying to bully me. Is this the way you lead your life, by stealing energy from others? Is this making you feel happy? So this is like acknowledging what you're seeing in front of you, what the bully is actually doing. And you, the people that stands around here, what do you get out of this situation? Do you feel bigger than me now? To address what you actually see might have a very shaking effect that might shake people into awakening. So what meditation does, slowly, a good shout of the master unexpectedly in this situation where the disciple was asking a question and the master jumps and shouts or hits him or throws him out of the door or jumps over him will do. These methods were never known. It was purely the very creative genius of Ma Tzu, and he made many people enlightened. Sometimes it looks so hilarious. He threw a man from the window from a two-story house, and a man had to come to ask on what to meditate. Ma Tzu not only threw him, he jumped after him, fell on him, sat on his chest and asked, "Got it?" And the poor fellow said yes, because if you say no, he may be beat or do something else. It was enough. His body was fractured, and Ma Tzu, sitting on his chest, asked, "Got it?" And in fact, he did get it. It was so sudden, out of the blue, he could never have conceived it. So, like the situation with the little boy that suddenly shouted, well, the emperor is naked. And he stated the obvious, but before he said it, nobody could see it. So sometimes we need to be awakened like this from our routine. We are so used to things being in a certain way, like people being scared of bullies or being too nice to tell when someone is doing something that's very rude or abusive, or whatever is going on in this situation. So, Sacred Rebels Oracle card for my dear Pisces. come to life. Come to life. I immediately heard a song, but I don't know yet what song it is. I just hear the tune of it. Come to life. It might be something with Enya. I will see if I can meditate on it and find it for you when the reading is done. So, the Come to Life card. Up till now, you have tried to be very pleasant and try to be like a convenient person for the surrounding and also for yourself. You didn't want bad consequences. It was enough to just get up in the morning. You didn't want any fuss or any drama. But now it's like you're passionately waking up, even to cause drama. That's not a problem for you anymore. It's like the convenience itself almost killed you. You are the most sacred of all sacred artworks. You are bringing yourself to life now, and this is how it must be. Of course, something being essential doesn't mean it will always be easy. You must support yourself and have courage during this process. Your monkey mind is not to run the show. There's the little monkey. Oh, and you have a little monkey also there. So the monkey mind. Your mind isn't you, it's a tool. But sometimes, or almost all people, are totally consumed by this tool. They can't stop thinking. So the monkey is owning you. It's like being addictive to thinking. So that's one of the big sickness with people. They're thinking and thinking and thinking instead of acting naturally. You must support yourself and have courage during this process. Your monkey mind is not to run the show. It might have a lot to say, and at times it seems very convincing, but it's not the one in charge. Your mind can inspire you with ideas. However, it is the real you that speaks through your rebellious sacred heart and living your life, not the monkey mind. The mind is not much more than swirling cacophony of habitual reactions. So, for example, if you ever have experience that you sometimes like from nowhere, it's like you had the devil on your shoulder and you told someone off, and it was like a second, something just took you over. It feels like this, and afterwards you usually feel very happy and shaken also because, oh God, I never knew I had so much rage in me, or that I would be able to be this rude towards someone. But it might be like in a situation where, say this like you had a gymnastic teacher, for example, that's forced you to jump fence after fence after fence after fence, and you also saw them how they were bullying other people that was smaller than you maybe, and suddenly you just shouted out like, this is wrong. And that is usually when your true self takes over, like your soul self, and it overrules the convenience of your mind. Yes, a rebellious sacred heart and living your life, not the monkey mind. The mind is not much more than a swirling cacophony of habitual reaction, and that is like we have this social convenience that we are used to subordinate ourselves to, and we let people go on with destructive behaviors, even if we know it's wrong, because maybe other people are laughing together with them, or they have like a authority over them because of their work or something similar to this, or you know that they are popular among other people. Whatever makes you kind of endure the rudeness or the injustice. Beneath habitual thoughts, there is a deep sensual, creative, and energetic awakening happening to you. It is so far beyond what the mind is now capable of controlling. Others might not like it because it shakes things up. Coming to life tends to do that. However, it is happening now, and the only real choice you have to make is how to deal with it. Coming to life means feeling. It might bring you joy, but it could equally bring sadness, rage, or fear. It could bring all of these and more. Feelings will come and go quite swiftly when allowed to flow. It's like the weather, okay? Sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's sun. That's your feelings. You are not your feelings. You experience the feelings as you experience the weather. You might need to paint, write, enact rituals, sing or dance your feelings to help the energy flow. Don't hold back. Create the space for yourself to do it. It is the process you are uncovering. It's in this process you are uncovering the artistry of the universal creator. That's the King of Wands that we saw that was in resting. So maybe you are not using your universal creator abilities. You are not your divine self. You are the conditioned human self. And now you are supposed to honoring the sacredness of life by exploring it without restraint. And that includes the flow of your feelings. You don't have to do anything with them other than express. You may want to analyze or you may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are getting in touch with your feelings. So, for example, if you feel on the outside, acknowledge to yourself, okay, I feel abandoned. So that's an acknowledgement. You can also say it if there's someone there that you think might want to listen or might want to help you. I feel abandoned. So it's just about recognizing what the feelings wants to tell you. They are there as divine guidance. You may want to analyze or you may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are getting in touch with feeling. Learning how to access your feelings allows you to learn how to access your intuition, your creative inspiration, and the genuine internal guidance. These aspects flow from the same place and are often gushed okay, within your feelings in the form of emotion as well as physical sensations. The journey underneath the mind and into a sensual emotional connection with your feelings, emotions, and body is for a sacred purpose. It is a part of your path. You are one of the sacred but powerful minority that have chosen to come into a body and live consciously within it. That may seem like it applies to everybody, but when you experience it for yourself, you will realize that this is actually rather rare. There are plenty of bodies without a spirit really residing within to care for, love, and honor them as a sacred animal. Fortunately, this minority is powerful enough that it can keep human culture in balance, but only just. We need every single one of us that is capable to be aware of the task and move beyond the mind and into the body. This is especially so if you have drawn another card, Beyond the Mind and Heartbeats, because those are also talking about to come into your sensuality. You will need to anchor your experiences. You may be blessed with relationships that are conscious enough to be interested in your journey in a constructive rather than controlling or undermining way. If so, talk, converse, share. If not, then you will need to be more resourceful in how you support yourself through your awakening process, at least until you attract some more conscious connections in your life. It is likely that these connections are already on their way just because you are working with the energy of this. This is especially more of those cards. You can support your own process by scheduling time for yourself and keeping to it like you would the most important date with destiny. So get to write in your journal, do dances, paint your pictures, create your creations, be kind to your body, listen to it and let it be alive. Even in times of pain, know that there will also be ecstasy and bliss as the process of healing and awakening continues. And pain is important because it's tell you about something that you have missed, and therefore the energy increases to higher and higher and higher and higher level until you listen. So don't ignore your pain. Okay, my dear Pisces, it seems like you are asked to become very courageous right now and to become more of your true self and less of the convenient self. And that might mean sacrifices that needs to be made. Maybe some relationship won't stand this test because people are used to you being in a certain way, but they were not worthy of you from the start anyway. So try to not think so much about consequences. Just try to become more and more and more and more yourself. And I'm thinking people will eventually appreciate the new you that's a more soulful you. and the social convenience were maybe needed for a time where humanity learned and, you know, came more and more into light. But now you can have like direct connection with God and the divine through your own body by just listening to your own feelings and instincts and intuition and the signs of synchronicity that's around you. So trust yourself more, trust other people a little bit less during this time. What they say might just be a test for you to see if you really are standing by yourself or if you are going to deny yourself again. So it's like you are your Judas here, and the Jesus, that is your intuition and your true feelings. And when you connect with that, you kind of connect with the whole earth and the whole nature. It's like, if you have seen the movie, see if I can remember, it's a movie of a planet called Pandora, where there's blue people living there. I don't remember the movie right now, because when I do this, my mind is, I'm more working from my right side brain than my left side brain. So things that I've stored in my left side brain, they're just gone. But in this world, they lived in harmony with nature, and everything had communication together. And this is what you will accomplish when you start to listen to your instincts and your intuition and your feeling instead of social convenience. Okay, my dear Pisces, I hope this helped. I want you to take really, really good care. And I also want to invite you back to my October reading that I will do in the mid of September. Okay, welcome then. Bye-bye.